Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Well, today I'm going to be taking a look at a new little micro drone from Attop. Now if that name sounds familiar, they've been around for quite a while and they mostly make drones, and I remember them back to when I first got into the hobby. And this drone itself is sort of a throwback to that time. It's one of these little micro drones that comes in its own little compartment within the controller. These are really popular 4 or 5 years ago. There's no reason why they can't be still popular today, because it's something you can just toss up in the air, and you can fly it and just take it all with you in this all-in-one controller and case. So you can see the drone is foldable and it's down inside there, inside the compartment. Now, you can see that this drone is called the X-Pack 2. Now, they call it a mini foldable drone. I said micro. We can sort of debate. It's sort of in that size range where it's sort of, is it a mini or a micro? But either way, it's really, really small. Now, it has 3 speed rates, headless mode, a 6-axis gyro, and it can do 360 or what they call the 3D flips. And there are 3 colors available, blue, green, and orange. And this one's considered the orange or orange and black. Now, before we get to the drone, I'll show you some of the accessories. It does come with extra props. Comes with a Phillips screwdriver, your prop removal tool, and really nice that they included 2 AAA batteries to power the controller. That's very seldom is that seen, but sometimes it is seen on these drones that are being sold on Amazon, which is where this one is coming from. You get a little yellow charger that's going to plug into the back of the drone with these little bitty tiny 2-pin connector. This looks just like we used to put on, I think, was it a CX-10, I think, the little micro drones from Cheerson. Years ago they used those. And you have your phone clip holder, which you'll have to assemble with these 3 pieces that will attach on the rear of the controller, so you can put your phone in there if you want to fly FPV over the Wi-Fi, which this little drone does emit a Wi-Fi signal. So let's just look at the controller and the drone now. You pull the drone out and you can see the little Wi-Fi antenna there. We'll just fold out the arms. And that's how it looks. Sort of looks like a beetle or a bug of some sort. There is that little connector for powering to charge it, and the power button is this little bitty button right above it. So if I press that in, you get some blue flashing lights there and like little green flashing front lights for the front your orientation, but it almost looks like eyes. And then you have this little pinhole camera, which is just 480p. That's also a throwback to the old days when we had for the HD, we had just the standard definition cameras. So it's not going to be, it probably will be 4x3 or more square looking. So we'll have to see how the app actually does it. Since you're recording over the app, it could stretch it out. We'll have to see on that. So you have a little 480p camera. There's no SD card slot on this guy, I don't think, is there? It kind of looks like there could have been something right here, but that's not a slot. There's just some components in there. So you're going to record over the Wi-Fi feed to the app on this little guy. And again, it's a super, super lightweight, so no worries about any exceeding any weight limits or anything. Then on the top here, I'll pull the instruction manual out, and we'll just go over the controls. I already looked at them once, but let's make sure that I don't tell you anything incorrect. You have your trim buttons right here along the bottom. This is, of course, altitude hold. You got your throttle and your yaw and your pitch and your roll over here. If you press in on the left stick, that's where you're going to get those 3 speed rates you can cycle through. Press it in on the right stick. This one right here will enter you into that 3D flip mode. And I think a long press will enter you into headless mode. I think it was a long press on this one will enter you into the auto or emergency motor kill. I think it was. I mean, emergency stop was a long press on the top. So short press here is going to be your rates. Short press here is going to be your flips. Long press, headless mode. Long press on the top, emergency motor kill. But otherwise, this is your auto takeoff, auto landing for this top left. And then on this one right here, you're going to do a short press for photo, long press to start video. Though you can just use the app and you don't have to worry about it. So that's pretty much everything on this. The app you're going to use with this guy, and they give you the QR code to scan in here in the back of the manual, is the XT Go app. I'll put a screenshot up here from the Google Play Store. And that's the app we're going to use. So I'm going to get connected to it, and then we'll get the app going on my phone, and we'll fly it around here in the basement so you guys can see it, because something this small, you need to fly it on a very calm day. So as windy as it's been lately, this is much more of an indoor flyer. So I'll fly it around inside here in the basement. We can just see how well this guy performs. So I'll be right back with the flight review. Okay guys, I have the X-Pac 2 connected to the Wi-Fi and the app. The app again was called the XT Go app. And this main screen is kind of cool. If you turn the sound up, it has like a video game kind of sound here. So I'll turn it up. I've never seen an app that actually has music like that. It's kind of neat. So I'll turn it back down there. But that's kind of cool. I wanted to show you that. So you just click on the fly button over here, and there is the Wi-Fi feed. And it's a little bit of lag to it, but you typically see that on a Wi-Fi flyer. Now I'm not going to attach my phone to the controller. I'm just going to get up in the air and fly it since it's down in my basement. I don't need to put my bulky phone onto the controller, but you obviously would feel free to do that if you want to. Now, one little odd thing is when I recorded the video just using the record button, I just ended up with a green screen of video. It must be some compatibility with my issue with my phone. It just doesn't record any actual, the video is just green. So I'm going to use a screen recording, and of course it is 480p stretched, but it ought to look pretty decent. So keep that in mind. If you happen to have that problem, it could be a compatibility issue. Just use a screen recording, but most likely you won't have that problem with your phone. It just could be mine. Got some hair there wrapped around. It's easy to get lint wrapped around these little motors. All right, let's go ahead and get it up in the air. Now I did fly it just a moment here to get it trimmed up, so I want to make sure that I got the arms all popped into place. Otherwise, when you do crash, the arms, if they pop out of place, the drone's going to drift. So make sure that they're all in the right spot. But yeah, I did fly it for a moment, so the battery won't fly as long as a full charge. It may be 30 seconds less or so. So let's go ahead and let's unlock the props. In fact, first let's do a gyro calibration. That's both sticks down and in. It'll beep. The lights will flash. You can't see that. They call it a compass calibration in the manual, which is incorrect. That's for a GPS drone. And then both sticks down and out. We'll unlock them, and then you can do the auto takeoff. And we got all trimmed up. I had some trim on it when I test flew yesterday, because I couldn't find the remember how to do the compass, I just wanted to say it, the gyro calibration. So once I got the gyro calibrated, then it needed to be retrimmed. That's what happens. If the gyro is not calibrated, then you'll end up with trimming it. And then if you calibrate it, then that gyro is set how it should be, and then your trims are going to be all messed up. All right, let's go ahead and do some of those 360 flips. In fact, first I'll show you the rates. We're in the lowest rate. Pretty slow. Let's click that top right button. Actually, it's the left stick, I should say. Now we're into the medium or middle rate. A little sportier. And let's press in again. There's our third rate. Faster yaw, more responsive. This is the rate I'm going to fly in, since I've had, experience with these, but it doesn't mean I won't crash it. So that's the rate I would recommend if you have experience. And let's do the press it on the right stick and do a 360 flip. You need to do those. If you want to do them, you need to do them before the battery gets too low, or it'll disable that, since the battery will lack the punch. And then we'll do a forward flip. I always like to test it all 4 directions. Yeah, it flies good. Again, I tried to do funnels yesterday, and a funnel is going to be, this can't do a funnel tight enough to do downstairs here in the basement, because it is just doesn't quite have the yaw and the pitch enough to do a tight funnel. It's a combination of those yaw and pitch and roll having an adequate amount to do it. So yeah, you guys can see there the 480p stretched screen recording. Not a bad little drone, pretty stable. Again, we'll see what kind of flight time. I'm not really pushing it here, so if you flew it outdoors on a very calm day, aggressively flying, you're going to get a shorter flight time that I'm gonna probably get here just, whoa, flying around in my basement. There's a little breeze because I have a window open down here. So you can see that's causing a little bit of drift with it at times. So if you're outdoors, that's why I'm flying in here. This is a little, something this small, a little mini, almost micro drone, is gonna get away from you pretty quick and be pretty easy to lose, even in the lightest breeze, because there's just so little weight. So you can see the little blue lights there in the rear. Now we're at low battery. Again, I did fly this already for a moment just to trim it. And we have the green lights there. Whoa, I crashed. That breeze came in here, guys, and it, well, I guess some cobwebs. The breeze came in and blew it across the room, and that's why it took off on me. Plus the fact that it was a little bit low on the battery, so it had a little less punch to fight that, but getting those cobwebs off. But yeah, now you're gonna end up with this beeping, and it will fly for probably another 30 seconds. Your 360 flips are disabled, and you're gonna have a lot less power as that LiPo voltage is really sagging. So keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and turn it off so I can finish the video without the constant beeping. And if you're using the app to record, make sure you stop the recording before you power off the quadcopter. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a corrupted video. So keep that in mind. So a little bit, you have to use your fingernail to power that off. Overall, not a bad little drone. Again, that flight time I know was pretty small, short, but like I said, I did fly it for maybe 30 seconds. I didn't fly it long, but enough that it would affect that flight time a little bit because I was trimming it up after the gyro calibration. So keep that in mind. But not a bad little drone. If you're interested, I'll have a purchase link to this down in the video description. I would say I'd recommend it as long as the price is really attractive. Again, I got this free in exchange for review, so I don't know the cost of this. I obviously have an idea whenever I put it into the video description, but if it's down in the $30 range or less, I would say yes. You know, if it's 50 or 60, obviously no way. So we'll have to see how much it costs. So if you're new to the channel, guys, you know, and you ran across this video and you're looking on Amazon for something for Christmas, again, this might not be a bad idea. If you're new to the channel, then obviously I would appreciate if you subscribe. While you're at it, click that bell, that way you're notified whenever I upload new videos. And as always, guys, have a wonderful day.
The power of the dark side.